Ladies and gentlemen, the date is the 20th of July. Welcome to the first ever locally produced pro wrestling event in Darwin history. My name is the All-Star Brad West, and I'm being joined by my old commentary partner, Mean Dean Olsen.
Thank you very much, Brad. It's an absolute pleasure to be here on a night where history will be made in a number of different ways. This is an exciting time, and what a way to start the very first ever Pro Wrestling Darwin show.
Without a doubt, two of the very best wrestlers in this country, and two guys that you'd be very familiar with, that we're both very familiar with for commentating matches of these guys for many years.
Yeah, these are two of the very best that West Australia has ever seen, and dare I say, they're quite well known all around the country as well. You mentioned in the promo package before the match started, Gavin McGavin and his Gavin versus Australia tour. He went all around the country with the EPW Championship. One place he didn't go, or couldn't go, was right here in the Northern Territory.
That is until now, and when I announced that I was starting this promotion up here, Gavin McGavin was the first person to say, I need to wrestle on this show, and by result, he is here, and a result of his hard work, and like you said, the Gavin vs. Australia tour. This is the last stop of the never-ending cycling tour, so it's not really a last stop, but like you said, the last spot on the map.
That is true, of course. He was born in Darwin, like you said. Well, in that lot of interesting words he used to start the start of the show. But I spoke to him back in Perth prior to this show. He was very excited to be able to come to Darwin and wrestle and represent everything he's about. But on the other side of the ring, we've got the Godfather, David Storm. This is a man who, basically helped build West Australian wrestling from the ground up, and he's so happy and proud to be here in Darwin to be able to show why he is the Godfather.
Exactly, and at the moment, Gavin McGavin claiming that David Storm, the Godfather of Australian wrestling, David Storm, pulled his hair to get the advantage on that one. I'm not too sure about that when we're looking on monitors, but I guess time will tell.
Yeah, look, Brad, I'm not buying it. Referee Giles O'Brien is keeping an eye on the action, and this is a man who's refereed for a very long time. I don't think he's going to fall for any of these silly shenanigans that Gavin McGavin will try at any turn.
Well, Giles O'Brien stepping out of retirement tonight to actually referee this contest and this show. So I don't know, maybe he might be a bit rusty?
Probably. I'd say he'd be rustier than most. He's a very grumpy old man. But, okay, right now, we have David Storm with the wrist like Gavin McGavin. Of course, he calls himself the real wrestler. He'll trade holds with anyone.
The crowd here in Darwin appreciating the very first chain wrestling they're getting to see here tonight.
Beautiful to see as well. The people here are acknowledging and applauding just good, solid, fundamental wrestling. It's very awesome to see.
Gavin McGavin now going for that hair. He was claiming before it was David Storm pulling the hair. Giles O'Brien didn't miss that one, that's for sure.
Well, if you're unfamiliar with Gavin McGavin, one thing you need to know is the man preaches a good game, real wrestling. You know, he doesn't want any sort of fancy stuff or gimmicky stuff, but he will bend the rules to an extraordinary degree at any available opportunity. But he can also mix up hold for hold with the best, which is exactly what he's doing here with David Storm.
David Storm now rolling up for a pinfall, only getting a one. Gavin McGavin really cinching in that headlock.
Giles O'Brien's knees are holding up, getting down low with the action, but right now McGavin keeping that side headlock on tight. David Storm, of course, he knows his way around wrestling holds and the squared circle like very few others do. This is a man that's been at it since 2001. Look at that.
Neck bridge by Gavin. McGavin
oh,
back to the hair.
He's grabbing the hair again.
David Storm taking the leg out. Gavin McGavin hitting the mat. David Storm not letting go of the hold. A very seasoned and experienced wrestler. Going for the pin.
David Storm, of course. Those in Darwin that have never been lucky enough to see David Storm, even online or anywhere else, this is a man that can do it all in the ring. He's a jack of all trades and a master of pretty much every one of them. As right now, McGavin.
Beautiful arm drag there. Cinches in on the arm afterwards. Giles O'Brien in position. I don't think you're going to get David Storm to quit that easily.
No, many people have tried and so many have failed. But Gavin McGavin and David Storm, they're no strangers to each other. They've faced each other a number of times before. And I spoke earlier about how Gavin McGavin likes to break the rules. He certainly likes to talk up his game, but he can get the job done inside that square circle. He can chain wrestle and mix up holds with the very best of them. So whilst he may be happy to bend a few corners here or there, it's not because he's lacking in any skill.
Definitely does like to bend the rules, but in bending those rules, we found the last time these guys stepped in the ring together, McGavin actually got the W. He picked up the win over Davis Storm, and Davis Storm wasn't seen for a good while after that matchup as well.
Yeah,
so you
true.
have to imagine Davis Storm coming into this matchup in a brand new environment up here in the Northern Territory. Davis Storm wants this victory, not only so he can get to the end of the night and become the first ever Super Triad Series champion, but also to revenge that loss.
Well, of course, tonight is such a big night in many ways, and there you go.
Exactly what we were talking about.
Reaches out to shake the hand, and then bam!
Oh, drop kick right to the face.
Gavin's rolled out to the outside.
Davis Storm says, I'll get him, don't worry.
Oof. Storm looking to get out of that one.
Oh, knee right to
you
the
go.
face. So let's see if he can give us another shot of that.
On point.
Who's seen pro wrestling before? All right, this is what we call a chop.
Oh, and what a chop. Man.
That is the beauty of these smaller, intimate venues. It can get really hush quiet in here, and in a second you can hear those thunderous chops, and then the audience can erupt at any second. It's a brilliant atmosphere here in the Brown Smart Theatre.
It sure is a beautiful thing, All-Star. The Brown Smart Theatre here in Darwin is packed to the rafters as McGavin gets rolled back into the ring.
So much on the line in this matchup. The first ever Super Triad Series. Basically a round-robin tournament. We will have Davis Storm versus Gavin McGavin that we're having right now. The winner will obviously need to pick up one more win tonight to take home the Super Triad Series. If all three competitors pick up a win, we go to a triple threat decider. And the other person in this matchup, you know very well, Marcus Pitt.
Marcus Pitt is a massive name in Australian wrestling, so it's an absolute treat to have him here in Darwin on the very first Pro Wrestling Darwin show. And I was going to mention early on when Storm and McGavin were mixing it up hold for hold in the middle of the ring, it's a different kind of mindset when the wrestlers are competing in a contest like this, because you're not just wrestling this match, you know you have to wrestle again later on this evening, and it just kind of makes you reassess your game plan.
Oh, exactly. And you know, from calling the Invitational web series back in Perth, I love tournament wrestling. It's one of my favourite things. You really see performers step up a level when you know you have to go out there again and again to actually get the job done.
Well, you would know because you've won, right?
The Invitational tournament in Perth, back when dinosaurs walked the earth, yes, I did win the Invitational series. Invitational tournament, what am I talking about? I'm just changing all the words to what we call them here in Darwin.
Far be it from wrestling to rewrite its own history, but right now the action back in the ring. Gavin is going to go to work here, back on Davis Storm. Like I said, these guys can go as hard as they want now, but they know what's coming later on in the night. And the fact that Marcus Pitt is something in their future.
You have to think he's sitting backstage right now watching both of these guys wrestle. He has to wrestle 2 more matches tonight, but he's watching these 2 guys tear each other apart, and you just have to imagine he's like rubbing his hands together thinking, right, well, what body parts am I going to break? What am I going to do to these 2 guys?
That's right, McGavin now working on the arm, taking down the Godfather Davis Storm. Smart move as well. You don't want Davis Storm on his feet running around building up momentum, because out of nowhere he can hit you with any of his amazing repertoire of moves. He's well known for a springboard enziguri, which can really rock his opponents. McGavin now, beautiful Northern Light suplex with a bridge as well. Just picture perfect bridge, and there you go, not wasting an even split second, going straight back to work on the Godfather.
You have to wonder, he keeps going back to that arm, and like going back to saying, Marcus Pitt's backstage. If I was Marcus Pitt and watching Gavin McGavin take apart Davis Storm's arm, that would completely inform my game plan moving forward.
going to be interesting to see the tactics that both of these competitors bring towards Marcus Pitt as well. Very well known for his, he's got a very powerful offense, let's just say that.
You're in for a treat if you've never seen TMDK's own Marcus Pitt tonight. But in the meantime, this crowd getting behind Davis Storm here. Willing Davis Storm to not tap.
Great to see the fans in attendance here at Evolve or Dissolve getting right behind the action, as well as getting right behind one of Australia's finest in the Godfather, showing some amazing strength there.
Absolutely brutal. Right on the spine. Let's have a look at that again.
Oh, it just hurts more seeing it from other angles, Brad.
Both men down now. Giles O'Brien starts laying down the count.
It's a great innovation here tonight, the Super Triad series. Each of these three competitors involved in this want to be the first to walk away. They want their name on that trophy. They want to be the first to win the Super Triad series and also finish the first ever Pro Wrestling Darwin show with their hand raised.
Davis Storm now with those European uppercuts, getting the better of Gavin McGavin here. And another. Ties him up in what looks like a backslide.
Oh!
If I'm not mistaken, it looks like Gavin McGavin is starting to favour his leg.
Yeah, I've noticed a bit of a limp developing in Gavin McGavin. I'm wondering if it happened when he took that drop kick and went to the outside. He may have twisted his leg in some way when Storm hit him with that drop kick. I'm not entirely sure at exactly what point.
It very well could have been. You might not be able to tell watching back, but this ring is particularly tall.
Hey, look, they breed him tougher in Darwin. It's what I've heard.
Yeah, the ring's particularly tall, particularly hard, and the ropes don't move particularly well. But that is what we've got here in Pro Wrestling Darwin tonight. So the guys are working with it.
Just goes to show you can't be soft if you want to wrestle in Pro Wrestling Darwin.
Yeah, we have crocodiles here.
Damn,
Even
got
in
one
the
on your
corner,
logo.
yeah, even in the corner of the screen.
Can't wait to see some local talent mix it up later on in this show. But right now, McGavin going straight back to work on Davis Storm. And the fact that he is favouring one of his legs just means he needs to get this match done even quicker. Of course, they got to wrestle again tonight.
Yeah, you may notice Gavin McGavin's game plan is speeding up a little bit. I'm actually a little concerned that something's wrong with his leg, like drastically. Because you just notice him change his game plan. He wants to put Davis Storm away as quick as possible and get some ice on that leg.
Well, if his leg is hurting, you know he doesn't want Davis Storm to catch onto that, because he's just a massive target for any opponent if they notice any weakness. And who needs to work the leg when you just smash someone's head into a turnbuckle?
Storm now getting the crowd behind him. Slingshots his way in.
Oh man! Goes up and over, back into the ring with a double stomp to the real wrestler. He's going to go for a pin here.
Whoop.
Rolls him up crucifix style. Only a two, but there you go. Straight back to work goes the real wrestler, Gavin McGavin.
Storm position right near the ropes, though.
Giles O'Brien, of course, keeping a keen eye on the action. Storm looks like he's in a lot of pain right now, and McGavin got a waist up. Look at him, he's going to try and go for a German suplex, which would be... Oh, look out! Could this be it?
Two.
So close.
Storm rolls him up.
Oh no, McGavin.
Gavin try. Oh, he got him.
Oh, look out.
Keeps hold of the leg, though, does Gavin McGavin.
He's going to go for a figure four.
Gavin McGavin tries to sit out to avoid being rolled up again, but Davis Storm's still able to muscle him over.
You can just feel the desperation of both competitors now. They want this one over and done with. They know they've got to wrestle again. What is he going to...
It looked like he was going for a pedigree. Whoop.
Oh, fantastic agility by McGavin.
You certainly see Gavin hopping around a little bit there.
Whoa!
That may be it, ladies and gentlemen. Davis Storm now surely hooking up for the eye of the storm.
Oh, if he nails that, it's... Oh, look out.
German suplex.
Perfect bridge as well by McGavin. Unfortunately, not enough to keep... Oh, there we go. Look at that. McGavin does it so well, but it's not enough to keep the veteran Davis Storm's shoulders down for the count of 3.
McGavin now clearly getting frustrated, going back to that arm.
Well, McGavin's beaten Storm before. It's not like it's a foregone conclusion that it can't happen.
Well, it very well could happen now. Got him right in that crossface.
Of course, he's been working on that arm and shoulder previously throughout this matchup. This is just putting so much more into it. And he's got him right in the middle of the ring. Fantastic ring positioning by Gavin McGavin.
And also, pointing out again in the ring we're using tonight at Pro Wrestling Darwin, 20-foot ring, much bigger than any other ring going in Australia today. So you've got much further to crawl to get to that rope.
There you go. Things are bigger and tougher in Darwin, make no doubt about it. McGavin was born here. Maybe it's something he could be used to.
Storm now, using every part of his body to get to a rope. That's what I mean. You just can't crawl a couple of paces to the rope. You really have to use your whole body. Meanwhile, Storm's broken out of it now. They've separated. McGavin goes in.
In for a wheelbarrow. Oh, high knee strike.
Right on the chin.
Eye of the storm.
That's got to be it, ladies and gentlemen.
Here we go.
Ring the bell. This one is done. Davis Storm.
Not only the winner of the first matchup in Pro Wrestling Darwin, but also the first winner in the Super Triad Series.